The planet felt quiet, almost too quiet. The small human research team stood on the rocky surface, staring up at a sky filled with strange constellations. Captain Elena Ward checked the instruments one last time. Around her, the other crew members buzzed with nervous energy. They were about to test the latest quantum jump device, something designed to open a short path between two distant points in space. "Are we really ready for this?" whispered Lieutenant Raj Patel, tightening the straps on his suit. Elena smiled. "We've done the calculations, it should work. Worst case, we end up a little farther than planned. But humans, as they often did, had underestimated the universe's sense of humor." The device hummed and glowed. A blue field shimmered around the platform, bending the light in strange ways. Elena pressed the final button. Time seemed to stretch, and then nothing. Or so they thought. When the shimmering light vanished, the humans opened their eyes. Their instruments went haywire. The sky had changed. Instead of the familiar stars, massive objects floated in the distance, gigantic ships, with surfaces reflecting light like liquid metal, hundreds of them. Some rotated slowly, others hovered, their designs strange and alien, almost beautiful in their alien logic. "What? Where are we?" whispered Dr. Maytan, the team's scientist, her voice trembling. Elena frowned at the scanner. "This isn't on any map. I don't think we're in our galaxy anymore." A sudden beep made them all jump. The scanner detected multiple life forms approaching, but nothing like they had seen before. Huge silhouettes moved on the surface. Below, and then small, flying drones buzzed around the humans. Raj's hand went to his sidearm, but Elena shook her head. "Wait, let's see what they do first." Moments later, a group of aliens emerged. They were taller than humans, with sleek, armored bodies and long, angular limbs. Their eyes glowed faintly, and every movement was precise, almost mechanical. They were soldiers, and they carried weapons that looked far beyond human technology. One of the aliens raised a device, pointing it at the humans. A sharp, high-pitched sound scanned the team from head to toe. Then the lead alien spoke in a deep, commanding voice, translated instantly by the human's universal translator. "Identify yourselves. State your purpose." Elena stepped forward, chest out, meeting the alien's gaze without fear. "We are explorers from a distant star system. We didn't mean to enter your space. We came by accident." The alien tilted its head. "Accident is not recognized in this territory. You are trespassing in the Galactic Empire. Surrender or face destruction." Elena took a deep breath. "We are not here to fight. We mean no harm. But we will not surrender either." The alien paused, as if confused by her words. It had expected panic, submission, or maybe immediate aggression. But these humans, they were calm. Too calm. Behind Elena, the crew exchanged nervous glances. May whispered, "Do you think they'll shoot?" Elena shook her head slightly. "If they wanted to, they could have already. Let's just stay steady, don't panic." The lead alien sent a signal. Instantly, the skies were filled with more ships. Hundreds of small craft swirled above the humans, scanning and analyzing. The Empire had reported the intruders and sent reinforcements. "Captain," Raj said, "they're not playing around. This is a whole fleet." Elena nodded. "I know, but notice how they're observing us, not attacking. That means they're unsure. Let's give them something to think about." The humans didn't move. They didn't raise weapons. They simply stood together, calm and composed. The alien soldiers studied them, scanning every gesture. Something about humans confused them. One of the Empire's high-ranking officers, observing from a larger ship above, frowned. "Report. What are they doing?" "They are standing still." "They have not panicked or attacked," came the reply. "They should have fled or surrendered by now." The officer leaned forward, tapping the console. "Impossible. No species has ever faced the Empire and remained unshaken. Keep scanning." find their weakness. Meanwhile, Elena crouched slightly and whispered to her team, "We're fine as long as we stay calm. Observe, don't react aggressively. Let them make the mistakes." The aliens began to lower their scanning devices, curious now. One small drone hovered closer. It emitted a soft hum, examining the humans in detail. Elena smiled faintly. "Hello," she said gently. "We come in peace." The lead alien's device beeped and whirred. They speak with confidence. Not fear, not submission. "Humans are strange," another alien murmured to its companion. "They should be frightened. They should beg for mercy. Yet, they do nothing but stand there." From the human side, May couldn't help whispering to Raj, "Do you think they've never seen humans before?" Raj shook his head. "I don't think they expected this. Nobody does. That's probably why we're still alive." Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. The humans continued their calm demeanor, studying the alien ships, the way the drones moved, the architecture of distant buildings far below the rocky surface. Every detail was noted, every observation logged. Eventually, the lead alien spoke, again. "Your behavior, it is not understandable. You possess no technology that matches the Empire. You are armed only with primitive weapons. You do not appear to have any psychic abilities. Yet, you are unafraid." Elena smiled slightly. "Sometimes courage comes from knowing you have no choice but to face what is in front of you. We came by accident. Now we are here. So we adapt. That's all." The alien blinked. It had never considered that fear might not be the default response. It had never met a species that could stare into the face of annihilation and choose calm. Instead, "Captain," Raj whispered, "they're talking about us. I think they're confused." Elena nodded. "Good. Let them think. Confusion is as powerful as a weapon sometimes." The Empire's ships continued to circle, but no attack was made. Instead, more sensors and small squads came closer, scanning, observing, but never firing. For the first time in centuries, the Empire encountered beings that could not be intimidated by size, firepower, or reputation. On board one of the Empire's command ships, an officer scratched its elongated head. "Perhaps they are dangerous, not because of weapons, but because of their minds. They do not act like other species. They do not fear us. They resist instinctively." The lead officer frowned. "Send envoys. I want to see them, personally. If they do not obey, destroy them. But observe first." Elena and her team, unaware of the full scale of the Empire's concern, decided to explore. Not recklessly, but carefully. They walked over rocky plains toward one of the alien scout outposts. Every step was measured, calm, confident. One of the smaller drones buzzed, ahead scanning them. It paused as if confused, then retreated. The humans smiled and waved at it. "Do you think they understand gestures?" May asked. "Not sure," Elena replied. "But it's worth trying. Curiosity is universal after all." By the time night fell, the humans had not only survived, but had piqued the curiosity of their alien observers. Word was spreading across the Empire. A new species had arrived, unshaken, unafraid, and unwilling to retreat. Back on the rocky surface, Elena gazed at the massive alien fleet above. "We didn't plan this," she said softly. "But we'll handle it, we always do." May laughed quietly. "You make it sound so easy." Elena shrugged. "It's not easy, but it's human. We don't always run. We don't always fight. Sometimes, we just stand our ground." And for the first time, the humans realized something remarkable. They had not only survived an encounter with a galactic superpower, they had made it hesitate. Somewhere in the Empire, commanders whispered, "We cannot destroy them, and not yet. There is something about them, something strange and powerful." The humans had survived their first day in the Galactic Empire without a single shot fired. Yet, as the second day dawned, it became clear that the Empire was taking a very close look at them. Elena, May, Raj, and the rest of the crew found themselves surrounded, not in immediate danger but in constant observation. Small drones hovered nearby, recording every gesture, every word. Alien soldiers maintained a quiet perimeter, weapons ready but never aimed directly. "What do they want from us?" May asked, adjusting her scanner to monitor the nearest drone. Elena shook her head. "They're trying to understand us. If they think we're just a primitive species, they'll act. But we're showing them we're unpredictable." Raj, always the skeptic, frowned. "Unpredictable? Standing still isn't unpredictable. That's passive." Elena smiled. "That's the point. They expect fear, surrender, or aggression. None of those are happening. That makes us unpredictable in their eyes." From high above, the Empire's command ship buzzed with activity. Screens displayed the humans on the rocky plain below. Officers and scientists crowded around, whispering and debating. "They are unafraid," said a senior officer, its voice rough with disbelief. "They show no submission, yet no attack." "How can this be?" a scientist replied, adjusting its many limbs nervously. "Their physiology is simple. No energy weapons, no psychic defenses, yet their behavior is extraordinary. They resist fear itself. Resistance is irrelevant. All species fear death. All species obey power." The officer growled. "Find the flaw." The humans, meanwhile, were exploring their immediate surroundings, careful not to provoke. They moved slowly, examining the alien architecture, the strange vehicles, and the intricate designs etched into the rocks. A squad of smaller drones approached, scanning them at multiple angles. Elena held up her hand and waved, smiling. "We come in peace. We are explorers." The lead drone paused, hovered in place, and a translated voice rang out. "Why do you not fear us? Why do you not comply with the Empire?" Elena took a step closer. "We did not plan to enter your space. It was an accident. But once here, we adapt. We are humans. Standing still, thinking, observing. That is how we survive." The drone made a soft buzzing sound as if puzzled. Then it moved back to report. On the command ship, the officer leaned closer to the console. "They speak with confidence, not fear, not flattery, not begging. They are remarkable, impossible." "They are not remarkable," the scientist replied. "They are strange. Primitive, yes. Weak. Yet their behavior does not match their technology. I do not understand it." Elena crouched beside Raj and May, quietly speaking. "Watch them. See what they do. They're trying to categorize us. Keep calm. Let them underestimate us. Humans always find a way." Hours passed, and the humans' calm demeanor began to unsettle the Empire further. The aliens decided to send an envoy to communicate directly. A small shuttle landed nearby, and a single officer stepped out. Its armor shimmered in the sun, and its eyes glowed faintly. Elena stepped forward. "Greetings. We mean no harm." The alien's voice was firm, but curiosity leaked through. "You persist in not showing fear. You persist in not obeying. Why?" Elena smiled. "Because there is nothing to fear if you do not give in to panic. You may be powerful, but power does not frighten us. Curiosity and intelligence are stronger than fear." The alien paused, scanning her carefully. "Your words, they are not simple bravado. You speak truth, yet you are weak. You should obey." Raj couldn't help himself. "Weak? We're standing here and you've brought an entire fleet to look at us. Doesn't that make you afraid?" The alien's eyes flickered. It had never encountered such reasoning. "You do not understand. You are trespassers. You are subject to the Empire's judgment." Elena nodded politely. "And we respect that. But we will not act in ways we do not understand or believe in. We are humans. We face challenges, even when they seem impossible. And we do it without fear, because that is our nature." The alien looked at its own ship, at the drones buzzing silently in the air, and then back at the humans. "They resist instinct. They do not fear death. They do not obey instinctively. They think. Always think, May whispered to Elena. Captain, I think they're impressed or confused. Elena's lips curved into a small smile. Both. Confusion can be more powerful than fear. Word spread quickly among the Empire's observers. Humans did not behave like any conquered species. They did not submit, they did not panic, they did not attack, and this was making the Empire anxious. Back on the command ship, the senior officer barked orders. Keep observing. They are not like other species. Analyze everything. Find their weakness. They cannot exist in our presence. A scientist interjected. They exist, and they are doing nothing but standing there. Perhaps their mind is the weapon. Perhaps their unpredictability is their strength. The officer slammed a clawed hand against the console. Impossible. They have no power. They are nothing. And yet, they survive where others would die. Meanwhile, the humans explored the alien outpost cautiously. They were polite, careful not to touch anything sensitive, yet their curiosity was evident. Elena examined an alien control panel. Raj scanned the strange vehicles, and May studied the symbols etched into the walls. A low-ranking alien approached them, its head tilted. You do not fear? Elena smiled. We do not. We face challenges with thought, not fear. We adapt, we learn, and we survive. That is human nature. The alien seemed puzzled. But you should be frightened. All species obey power. You do not. Why? Raj laughed quietly. Because we are humans. We don't always run, we don't always fight. Sometimes, we just stand our ground. And you should think about that. The alien blinked, its sensors struggling to interpret. This behavior, perhaps they are dangerous not with weapons, but with their mind. Strange, illogical, yet effective. Elena whispered to her team. They're trying to understand us. That means we have the advantage. Stay calm, observe, and don't react aggressively. Let curiosity work for us. The day passed with no attacks. The humans had not fled, not fought, not pleaded. They had simply stood their ground and engaged with logic and calm. Back in the Empire's capital, the Emperor himself received reports. Screens showed the humans wandering the alien territory, examining, speaking, smiling, unafraid. They are not like any species we have encountered, said an advisor. They are extraordinary, yet they are weak. They should not survive. And yet they do. The Emperor leaned forward, his multi-limbed hands steepled. Prepare envoys. Bring these humans to me. I want to understand them myself. If they resist, destroy them. But first, I must see their nature. Back on the planet, Elena watched the alien ships move in a coordinated pattern above them. It seems they want to communicate directly, she said. That's fine. Let them come. We don't run. We don't hide. We face them. May shook her head, nervously glancing at the sky. You really think we can stand up to them? That we can make them hesitate? Elena placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We already have. Just by being ourselves, we've made a galaxy-spanning empire question everything. That is power, May. That is humanity. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the rocky plains. Drones hovered, soldiers observed, and the humans remained calm, walking slowly back to their small camp. Somewhere in the Empire, officers whispered, perhaps this species is untouchable, not because of strength, but because of their mind, their courage, and something we do not understand. Elena and her team sat around a small fire, sharing water and ration bars. The quiet was comfortable, the stars bright. Do you think they'll attack? Raj asked. Elena shook her head. Not yet. They're still trying to figure us out. And as long as we don't give them a reason to attack, we'll keep surprising them. The human's way is always simple. Stand your ground, stay calm, and let the world catch up. And so humans continued to exist in the heart of a galactic empire, observed, analyzed, questioned, but unafraid, unshaken, and unwavering. The empire had thought it could intimidate every species it met. But for the first time, humans were, proving that fear was not universal, and courage was sometimes the greatest weapon of all. For now, the humans had survived. But the real test, the test of intellect, morality, and ingenuity, was only beginning. The shuttle that had come to escort the humans was massive, yet silent. Its hull gleamed like liquid silver, reflecting the strange sky above the planet. Inside, humans moved cautiously, observing every detail. Nothing in the galactic empire looked familiar. Hallways twisted at impossible angles, light panels shifted color and shape unpredictably, and doors opened before they reached them. Elena led her team calmly, though her pulse raced. She knew every step mattered. How humans behaved here would set the tone for the entire empire. Raj muttered under his breath, "I feel like we're ants being studied by a god." May rolled her eyes. "Better ants than dead ants. Keep your voice down." They reached a central chamber where a group of mid-ranking alien officials waited. Their bodies were sleek and mechanical, yet their eyes held an undeniable curiosity. One of them, a tall alien with glowing blue markings across its chest, stepped forward. "You are humans," it said. "Your behavior is unique. You resist fear. You resist aggression. Why?" Elena smiled politely. "We are humans. We face challenges with thought and courage. We do not always run, and we do not always fight. We observe, we adapt, and we survive. That is our nature." The alien tilted its head. Observe, adapt, survive. Words without immediate meaning in the empire. You are in our territory. All species obey or perish. Why do you not obey? Elena thought carefully before replying. Because we do not obey blindly. Obedience without understanding is not strength. It is weakness. We choose our actions, even in dangerous circumstances. One of the officials whispered to another. They think differently. This is unprecedented. A lower-ranking alien stepped forward. Do they mock us? No, Elena replied softly. We respect your authority. We just do not fear it. Respect and fear are not the same. The officials exchanged uncertain glances. The humans' calm demeanor, combined with their clear confidence, was disarming. After a tense pause, the blue-marked alien motioned to a nearby doorway. You will accompany us to observe our culture. You will not interfere. You will obey our basic rules. Then we will judge your nature. Elena nodded. We will comply where necessary, but we will continue to observe and understand as humans do. The shuttle doors opened, and the humans stepped into the Empire's capital city. It was vast beyond comprehension. Towers rose into clouds, connected by glowing bridges. Airships and hover vehicles moved in precise formation, carrying citizens and workers. Alien races of every shape and size populated the streets, yet all moved in uniform order, as if guided by invisible strings. May whispered. It's overwhelming, Elena replied. Notice the details, patterns, habits, technology. Everything can teach us something. They walked through the city, escorted by several alien officials. Raj pointed out, look at that law enforcement unit. They barely touch anyone, yet everyone obeys instantly, Elena observed quietly. Discipline is impressive, but notice the fear behind it. Look closely at their faces. Some follow orders without question, but they hesitate internally. That hesitation is something humans can exploit, not with weapons, but with influence. May frowned. Exploit? Not in a harmful way, Elena clarified. Humans influence through ideas, through logic, and through moral reasoning. Sometimes that's stronger than any weapon. They entered a large hall filled with alien citizens, gathered for a public demonstration of Empire law. A small group of aliens was accused of violating minor codes. The officers overseeing the trial explained that punishment would be swift and harsh. Elena stepped forward quietly, whispering to her team, "Observe the rules, observe reactions, and note how authority is enforced. Humans can learn from control systems as well as defiance." As the trial began, humans noted the rigid efficiency of the Empire's legal system. There was no hesitation, no negotiation, no mercy, yet there were subtle signs of unease among some observers. Small flickers of doubt in their glowing eyes, tiny hesitations in gestures. After the demonstration, the humans were escorted to a cultural center, a massive hall showcasing art, music, and technology from across the Empire. They walked among exhibits, touching nothing, observing everything. A mid-ranking official spoke, curiosity evident in its voice. "You humans, you move freely among our people. You are not afraid. Do you not worry for your safety?" Elena smiled. "Worrying does not change outcomes. We observe, we adapt, and we respond. Fear only limits action. That is why we move freely. It is part of being human." One of the officials tilted its head. "Humans are dangerous. Not with weapons, but with mind and morale. Their nature resists our control, yet they are weak." Elena whispered to Raj and May. "They underestimate us because they see no immediate strength. That's their mistake. Our real strength is how we think and act in ways they cannot predict." Later, they were brought to a council chamber where several Empire leaders awaited. The chamber was vast, with multiple levels, and the air shimmered with energy shields. Holographic screens displayed maps, data streams, and alien symbols incomprehensible to humans. The council leader, a massive alien with scales that reflected light, spoke. "You are in the heart of the Empire. We have observed you. You do not fear. You do not obey instinct. You question, you reason, you persist. Why?" Elena stepped forward calmly. "Because we are human. We survive by thinking, by cooperating, by solving problems. We do not always obey rules we do not understand. And we do not always fear power that has no moral foundation." Younger alien whispered to its companion. "They are different. They are not like any species we have encountered. They do not obey fear. They do not fight blindly. They inspire thought." The council leader frowned. "Your logic is dangerous. Your courage is unusual. Perhaps you should be destroyed before more are influenced by your ways." Elena shook her head. "We did not come here to influence. We came by accident, but ideas travel fast. Humans value life, cooperation, and reason. These are our strengths, and they are stronger than any weapon you wield." The council murmured among themselves. The humans' confidence was unlike anything they had faced. Other species in the Empire bowed, obeyed, or fought, but humans simply were humans, and that made all the difference. After the council session, the humans were taken to a residential area designed for visitors. It was luxurious by human standards, yet sterile and precise. Every object had a place, every light a purpose. Raj muttered, "I feel like we're in a museum." Elena smiled. "In a way we are, but every museum teaches you something. Observe, learn, adapt." That night the humans sat together quietly. May looked out at the glowing towers. "They fear us, don't they?" Elena nodded. "They are, trying to understand us. Fear doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's quiet, hidden in hesitation. And right now, they hesitate." May thought for a moment. "Do you think we can change them?" Elena chuckled softly. "We don't need to change them. We just need to be ourselves. That alone is enough. Humans inspire change just by existing in ways they cannot control." The next morning, the humans were again escorted into the city, this time for a public meeting with citizens. A large crowd gathered, curious about the strange species from beyond the stars. Elena stepped forward and addressed the citizens, carefully speaking in the translated language. "We are humans. We come from far away. We do not conquer. We do not harm. We explore, we observe, and we learn. We value life, curiosity, and understanding. We hope to share ideas, not impose them. The crowd was silent, absorbing her words. Some nodded slowly, others whispered among themselves. The humans' calm presence and moral clarity had an effect even on citizens who had been raised in a society of strict control. An official whispered to another, concern in its voice. Their influence, it spreads without force, ideas travel faster than weapons, this is dangerous. Elena smiled to her team. See that? Our presence is already making them think. That is all we needed to do. As the day ended, the humans returned to their temporary residence. They had explored, observed, and subtly influenced. No weapons had been fired, no threats had been made. And yet humans had begun to make a mark, Elena reflected quietly. The Empire relies on fear and order. But humans are different. Courage, curiosity, morality, they inspire in ways power cannot control. That is the essence of humanity. May nodded. We are not soldiers. We are ourselves. And that is enough. Raj added. I still don't know if they'll attack us someday. But maybe it won't matter. Maybe they'll respect us instead. Elena looked out at the alien city, glowing under twin suns. Respect is earned in many ways. Sometimes it's not through fear or force. Sometimes it's simply by standing firm, by observing, and by being human. The humans had survived the first collision with an alien culture. They had not fled, they had not fought unnecessarily, and they had already begun to plant seeds of thought in the minds of the Empire. Somewhere far above in the Empire's command halls, officers whispered uneasily, "We cannot predict them, and that makes them dangerous, very dangerous." The Empire had never experienced anything like humans before. Their presence alone had caused confusion among high-ranking officials and ordinary citizens alike. But calm observation and moral clarity were about to face a real test. Early one. Morning. Alarms blared throughout the capital. Drones whirred and ships shifted in formation. The humans, still in their temporary residence, felt the vibrations under their feet. Elena and her team rushed to the observation deck. What is happening? Raj shouted over the noise. May's scanner flashed red. A nearby sector, it's under attack. The Empire's own systems are failing. Something's interfering with their control network. Elena's eyes narrowed. That's a threat, and it's spreading. We need to act carefully. The humans were quickly surrounded by Empire officials. One officer, trembling slightly despite its glowing composure, spoke. This is unprecedented. Our systems are failing. Cities are losing control. Citizens are panicking. We require assistance. Elena exchanged a glance with her team. We didn't come here to fight, but we can help solve problems the way humans do. Raj frowned. You mean we're going to fix their mess? Elena nodded. Not fix it for them, guide them. Show them solutions they might not see. That's how humans survive crises. The humans were led into the Empire's control hub, a massive chamber filled with consoles, holographic maps, and streams of data. Aliens worked frantically, but chaos spread quickly. Elena studied the screens, her mind racing. First, stabilize communications, then assess the threat. We can organize their response better than they can when panic spreads. May worked alongside alien technicians, explaining in simple terms how to reroute systems temporarily. Raj coordinated with fleet operators, suggesting efficient patterns of movement that humans had used in simulations long before arriving in the Empire. The aliens watched in disbelief as the humans calmly analyzed data, made decisions, and coordinated responses without hesitation. One officer muttered, "They are organizing better than our own commanders. How can this be?" Elena smiled faintly. Experience. Humans solve problems by thinking and acting quickly. When the unexpected happens, we don't panic, we adapt. Outside, the threat revealed itself. A massive fleet of rogue drones, previously unknown to the Empire, had infiltrated from a neighboring system. Their weapons were destructive, their numbers overwhelming. The aliens prepared to retaliate with brute force, launching ships and firing energy beams in chaotic bursts. The humans quickly intervened. "Stop!" Elena shouted. "You're wasting resources. Split your fleet into smaller coordinated groups. Protect citizens first, then counterattack systematically. Target weak points. Predict their movement. They're mechanical, predictable in ways they don't expect." The alien commanders hesitated, exchanging uncertain glances, but they had no other choice. Following the humans' guidance, they reorganized. Ships moved with precision, forming protective shields around cities and civilians while smaller squads intercepted the rogue drones. May pointed at the screens. "They're exploiting the same vulnerabilities repeatedly. If we focus fire at the central command nodes, we can disable the fleet quickly." Elena nodded. "Exactly. Use logic, not brute force. Humans always find the simple solution when others overcomplicate things." Hours passed. The humans and the Empire worked together in tense coordination. The humans' calm decisions prevented panic from spreading among citizens, and their analytical suggestions allowed the Empire to neutralize most of the threat without massive destruction. During a brief pause, an alien officer approached Elena. Its glowing eyes reflected admiration and disbelief. "You are humans. You do not fight like other species. You do not fear like other species. Yet you lead without power. This is remarkable." Elena shook her head. "We don't lead. We help. Humans survive by cooperating and thinking. That's all." The rogue fleet continued to press forward, but the humans' guidance had given the Empire a fighting chance. Using precise strikes and strategic maneuvers, they gradually dismantled the drone's formation. Raj glanced at the display, sweating. "We're actually doing it. We're saving their cities." May smiled. "I never thought I'd see humans outsmart a galactic fleet by just thinking." Elena put a hand on Raj's shoulder. "That's humanity. Courage and intelligence together are more powerful than brute force. Remember that." The final wave of rogue drones converged near the capital. Hundreds of ships surrounded them, but the humans identified a flaw, a synchronization node controlling the drones. "There," Elena shouted. "Focus on that node. Once it's gone, the fleet loses coordination. You don't need to destroy every single drone." The Empire followed her guidance. Beams struck the node, and suddenly the drones spun out of control, colliding with each other and falling into the planet's atmosphere harmlessly. Silence fell. The Empire's fleet hovered, scanning for remaining threats. Elena exhaled. "It's over. Everyone's safe." Alien commanders looked at each other, astonished. "Impossible," one muttered. Humans solved what our fleet could not." The council convened immediately. The Emperor himself appeared in a shimmering hologram. His multi-limbed frame projected authority, yet even he seemed intrigued. "You humans," he said slowly. "You arrived by accident. Yet in your short time here, you have prevented disaster. Explain yourselves." Elena stepped forward, calmly and respectfully. "We did not come here to interfere. But when we saw lives at risk, we acted as humans do. We analyze, adapt, and cooperate. We do not rely on power alone. We solve problems with thought and courage." The Emperor's glowing eyes scanned her, then softened slightly. "Your methods, they are unlike any we have encountered. You have no technology greater than ours. You wield no psychic control, yet you lead, without fear, without aggression. You are remarkable." May whispered to Raj. "Did he just compliment us?" Raj nodded quietly. "I think he did. And we didn't even try." Elena smiled faintly. "Sometimes doing what's right is enough to inspire respect, even in a galactic empire." After the meeting, the humans were escorted back to their temporary residence. The city below was slowly recovering from the chaos. Citizens cautiously resumed routines, and minor repairs began. Raj, still catching his breath, asked, "Do you think they'll ever forget this? That we solved what they couldn't?" Elena nodded. "They won't forget. Humans leave marks simply by existing and acting with integrity. Fear, power, aggression. They expect those. We gave them courage, intelligence, and calm. That is far more influential than weapons." That night, the humans reflected on the day's events. May stared at the stars, still glowing above the Empire's towers. "We really did it. We saved them, even though they could have destroyed us any moment." Elena looked at her team. "We didn't do it for glory, we did it because it was the right thing. Humans survive, humans help, humans think. That is all we ever need to do." Outside, alien officers whispered among themselves. "These humans, they are dangerous, not with strength, but with courage and intelligence. They act without fear. They lead without authority. We must study them, understand them, or risk being changed by them." Even the Emperor's hologram reflected his curiosity. "We underestimated them. They are unusual. Perhaps they are not here to conquer, yet their presence challenges everything we know. Humans may teach us something." And for the humans, the galaxy had changed slightly, not because of violence or domination, but because they had acted with intelligence, morality, and courage. The Empire had learned a lesson it would not soon forget. Power is not always the strongest force. Sometimes the mind, the heart, and the will to do right are far more potent. Elena looked at her team. "The real test isn't over. We survived today, and we helped them survive. Tomorrow they will expect more from us, but we're human, we can handle it." May smiled. "I'm starting to understand. Humans, we're different. Even when the odds are against us, we adapt. We survive, we inspire, and sometimes that's enough to change the galaxy." Raj laughed quietly. "I never thought I'd say this, but I'm proud to be human. Even here in the heart of a galactic empire, we didn't back down. We didn't surrender, and we didn't move an inch." Elena nodded. "Exactly. And as long as we stay true to ourselves, no empire, no matter how vast or powerful, can truly control us. We are humans, and that is our greatest strength." Outside, the stars of the Empire's sky seemed brighter than ever. The humans had not only survived, they had left a lasting impression, one that would ripple through the minds of the Empire's leaders and citizens for years to come. In a galaxy that valued fear and obedience, humans had shown something extraordinary. Courage, intelligence, morality, and calm could be stronger than any fleet, any weapon, or any law. The shuttle carrying the humans rose above the recovering city, gliding silently through the glowing towers of the Empire's capital. The events of the past days had left both humans and aliens changed. Citizens whispered about the strange visitors who moved without fear, solved crises without weapons, and inspired thought without force. Elena, Raj, May, and the rest of the team sat quietly in the shuttle, observing the alien landscape one last time. Their calmness, despite the magnitude of their impact, reflected the same human resilience that had carried them through every challenge. "Do you think they'll ever forget us?" Raj asked softly. Elena shook her head, a small smile on her face. "They won't forget. Humans leave impressions simply by being themselves. Fear, control, aggression, they expected those. We gave them something else. That's unforgettable." Maggie nodded. "It's strange. We didn't fight. We didn't conquer. And yet, we changed things." Elena's gaze swept over the city below. "Exactly. Humans change the world not by dominating it, but by standing firm, thinking clearly, and doing what's right. That is our power." As the shuttle descended toward the Emperor's palace, a holographic message appeared before them. The Emperor's figure shimmered, imposing but not hostile. Multiple limbs extended and retracted in subtle gestures, and his glowing eyes fixed on the humans. "You have caused ripples in my empire," the Emperor said slowly, "ripples that cannot be ignored. You did not seek power. yet you influence. You did not strike with weapons, yet your presence has saved lives. You are extraordinary. Elena stepped forward with a bow of respect. We are grateful for your hospitality. We came here by accident, not by choice, and we acted as humans always do, out of necessity and care for life. The Emperor's gaze softened slightly. Yet your actions have taught us lessons we did not know we needed. Fear is not the only way to maintain order. Courage, intelligence, and moral clarity, these are forces we have underestimated. Raj whispered to May. Did he just admit we're better than he expected? May chuckled quietly. Better is one word for it. Different is more accurate. The Emperor's multi-limbed form shifted. I cannot destroy you, even if I wished. So you are untouchable in ways our weapons cannot reach. Your minds are unpredictable, your courage unmeasured. You challenge our assumptions, yet do so without malice. Elena nodded. We did not come to challenge. We came by accident. But we act as humans do. We adapt. We observe. We think. That is all. The Emperor paused, his expression unreadable. Then, in a voice quieter but resonant, he said, Perhaps you can teach the Empire. Perhaps not with weapons, but with ideas, courage, and perspective. Humans are dangerous, not because of strength, but because of thought. May whispered to Elena. We really are legendary to them, huh? Elena smiled softly. Not legendary yet, but remembered. That's enough for now. The Emperor extended a limb, pointing toward the shuttle's exit. You may leave. Return to your own galaxy. Carry with you the understanding that humanity is remarkable. Perhaps in time others will learn from you as well. Elena stepped back, bowing once more. Thank you, Emperor. We hope to continue. Exploring, observing, and learning. And we will always remember this empire, its power, its people, and its capacity to grow. The shuttle lifted off, passing through the glowing towers. Citizens looked up, some waving cautiously. Officers watched in awe and confusion. Rumors spread quickly. The humans were not only fearless, they were unshakable, clever, and moral. Some whispered that humans were gods of thought. Others said they were simply a species unlike any before. Inside the shuttle, the humans breathed a collective sigh of relief. The journey back home would be long, but their hearts were light. They had survived a galactic empire, influenced its leaders, and left an impression without firing a single weapon. Raj shook his head in disbelief. I still can't believe it. We solved their crisis, earned the Emperor's respect, and didn't even need to fight. Elena smiled. That's humanity. We don't always need to fight to make a difference. Courage, intelligence, and morality can shape worlds just as much as any weapon. May added quietly. And somehow, we did it without even trying. We just were ourselves. Elena looked at her team, pride in her eyes. Being human is sometimes enough. It's what sets us apart. We don't just survive, we inspire, and in that we are stronger than any empire. As the shuttle jumped through the stars, leaving the empire behind, the humans reflected on what they had achieved. Their presence had caused hesitation in one of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. Their calm, reasoned approach had influenced citizens and leaders alike. And their courage had proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humans could act with integrity and intelligence. Somewhere in the empire, the Emperor's advisors whispered, We cannot control them, and that makes them dangerous. They act without fear, without aggression, and yet they lead by example. We underestimated them. We must study them, or risk being changed by them. Rumors of humans began to spread across star systems. Strange, fearless creatures who solved problems with thought, who faced danger with calm, and who influenced civilizations without raising a weapon. Legends formed, even among those who had never seen humans firsthand. Elena gazed out the shuttle window at the distant stars. We came by accident, she said softly. But wherever humans go, we leave an impact. That's our nature, and we've proven it. Raj leaned back in his seat. Do you think they'll ever try to find us again? Perhaps, Elena replied. But that's fine. They will remember our ways. And maybe, just maybe, the galaxy will be a little wiser because humans were there. May smiled. I never imagined humans could leave such a mark without fighting. Elena nodded. We didn't need to fight. We just needed to be human. Courage, intelligence, morality, those are our weapons, and they're more powerful than any fleet, any weapon, or any law. The stars stretched out before them, endless and full of possibility. The humans had survived the Galactic Empire. They had influenced it, and they had done it with nothing but their minds, their courage, and their integrity. As the shuttle jumped into faster-than-light travel, leaving the Empire far behind, Elena reflected on one simple truth. The universe was vast and dangerous, but humans could adapt, survive, and inspire. And that was more than enough. For the Empire, humans would remain a mystery. For the galaxy, humans would become a legend. And for Elena and her team, it was simply another day in the life of being human. Unshaken, thoughtful, and steadfast, even when standing in the heart of a galactic empire. As they journeyed home, one thought united them all. Humans did not always need weapons or armies or fleets to make a difference. They only needed to be themselves.